the first verse, and or no, I don't have to. Would anyone like to start us off with the invocations? Any 1, 2, 3, or 4 chants, or would anyone like to do the whole thing? Verses, I mean.
I'll do the first one.
Okay. And who would like to do the second one? I will. Okay, I'll do the second one. Who would like to do the third one? Okay, Elizabeth, thank you. And let's see. Let's one, third one, fourth one. 1, 2, 3. So do we have any takers for the fourth one, which is Pundarika Sanasinam? Okay, if nobody wants to do that, I'll do that one.
Or I'll do it if you want, Leslie.
Okay, Patty, that'd be great. And would anyone like to do the beautiful one to the Guru Vandanam? Okay, great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Dedication to Krishnamacharya. I'll do that one. Does anyone feel a hankering for dedicating thanks to Desikachar? Elizabeth?
I'll do that.
Okay.
I couldn't stand it if we didn't dedicate it to Desikachar.
Oh no, that would be awful. And then Sahana Vavatu. Who would like to chant Sahana Vavatu? Okay, Tim, you're on. All right, now we just have to remember which chant we're doing. Okay, so is Patty starting? Okay.
Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chatur Pujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye.
Yasya Dvirada Vaktradyaha Parishadyah Parashatam Vignan Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenantamashraye.
Jnananandamayan devam nirmalasphatikakritim adharan sarva vidyanam hayakriva
Pundarika Sanasinam Pandura Prendu Sannipam Akantapota Janakam Hayagriva
Gurupyascha Namo Vakamadimahe Vrinimahe Chatatradyau Dampati Jagatam Pati.
Shri Krishna Vagisha Yatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashya Saram Shri Nutnarangendra Yatau samarpita svam Shri Krishna Maryam Guruvaryamide Virodhe Kartike Mase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Maryam Guruvar Yamaham Bhaje.
Shihyakam Krishna Maryasya Natavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namamyaham Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaramyaham Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, everyone. It's lovely to hear so many different voices. I chose Sutra 130, which lists and names all of the obstacles for us. And because I thought we would also pay homage to Ganesha today. But before we go to 130, if you have your books, otherwise, I'm going to just lead you in the two first sutras in the very first chapter. And actually, I'm willing to bet you all are familiar with them. So it's often a good exercise not to read. So don't read while you repeat the first two sutras in chapter 1. Just listen and repeat. I'll chant the invocation to Patanjali first. Shrimat Patanjali Mahamunaye Namaha Atha Patanjala Yoga Sutra Pathaha Atha Samadhi Padaha. Just repeat the first sutra. Atha Yoganushasanam. Atha Yoganushasanam. Yogaschitta Vritti nirodhaha. Yogaschitta vritti nirodhaha. We'll keep going. Tada drashtuhu svarupe vasthanam. Tada drashtuhu svarupe vasthanam. And then the fourth one. Vritti sarupyamitara. Vritti sarupyamitara. Now, yes, raising your hand, Tim.
I realize this is not exactly karaoke, although it's not karaoke.
Yes.
If you're taking requests, we're doing 117 at the Institute this Friday, and I'd be super grateful if we could do that together.
117.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Iyengar translates that as practice and detachment. Abhyasa and vairagya, practice and detachment, develop 4 types of samadhi: self-analysis, synthesis, bliss, and the experience of pure being. Interesting that you choose that, because what my yoga teacher Jess has been moving with that, teaching with that, and also it's been my least favorite for a long time. So good for you. It's a mouthful. Yeah. Does everybody have your chant book? Because I didn't hand it out. It would be on page 15 on your chant book. But before we go to that, just bookmark that and come back. We're going to chant all 4 of the first 4 padas, of the first 4 sutras. Well, we will chant all 4 padas one day. That's a good idea. I think with this group, I think everybody is so familiar with the sutras. It's kind of like coming home. At least I hope it feels that way to you. So chant with me and we'll do all 4. And then I'd like for someone else to chant all 4. And you're welcome to read it. You don't, unless you have it memorized. Sometimes when we get off the page, it's easier to chant. Okay, here we go. All at the same time. I'll start with Om. Om. Atha yoganushasanam. Yogaschitta vritti nirodhaha. Tada drashtuhu svarupe vasthanam. Vritti sarupyamitara. Would someone please chant all 4? Or if that doesn't feel comfortable, just chant 1 or 2 of them, but in this order.
This one I can do.
All right, Sandra, take it away.
Om Atta Yoganushasanam Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtuhu Svarupe Vastanam Vritti Sarupyami Taratra.
Brava, brava. Who else would like to do this? Lisa, I haven't heard you today. Would you be kind enough, or just
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, goody. Go for it.
Om
Yoganushasanam Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtu Svarupe Vashtanam Vritti Sarupyam Itatraha.
Thank you. Wonderful. Who else would like to go? Susie, anybody? Who haven't I heard today? Not today, Susie?
No, thanks.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's honor Tim's request. 117, which is on page 15, if you have the booklet, the workbook. Just repeat slowly after me. We'll go word by word. Vitarka. Vitarka. Vichara. Vichara. Ananda. Ananda. Asmita. Asmita. Let's stop there and do that again, just as we did. We'll start with Vitarka, call and respond, so you get comfortable with these words. Vitarka, Vitarka, Vichara, Vichara, Ananda, Ananda, Asmita, Asmita. So a lot of those long ahs are simply combinations of an a short followed by a long ah, or perhaps short followed by a short Vitarka, Vichara, Ananda, Vichara, Ananda. There's a sandhi, Vichara, Ananda, and then there's another one, Ananda, Asmita. So our followed by will change into a long ah. So we end up with this. Vitarka Vichara Nanda Smita. So we'll repeat that. Let's do that 3 times. Vitarka Vichara Nanda Smita. Vitarka Vichara Nanda Smita. Vitarka Vichara Nanda Smita. How is that coming for you? Thumbs up, sideways, or down? Okay, up. Good. Next, Rupa, Rupa, Anugamat, Anugamat, Rupa, Rupa, Anugamat, Anugamat. So now I'll put them together, but I won't blend them yet. Rupa, Anugamat, Rupa, Anugamat. One more time like that. Rupa Anugamat, and then Rupa Anugamat, twice more. Rupa Anugamat, Rupa Anugamat. In the Iyengar yoga tradition, which is how I've been chanting these, and I know some of you are in another tradition and you might use a slightly different melody. What we do is something that's very simple and in the end quite easy. It's a monotone all the way, no matter how many syllables in every sutra there are. It's a monotone until you get to the fourth to the last syllable. And the fourth to the last one goes up, and then the next one goes in the middle. The second to the last one goes down, and then we end at the middle. So for this, in this case, the word is samprajñātah. So let's just say that twice. Samprajñātah. Samprajñātah. So I'll give you an om, which is the middle note, and then we'll go up for some. Om samprajñātah. 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 So to put all these beautiful words together. Vitarka vicharananda smita. Just do that. Vitarka vicharananda smita. Rupanugamat Rupanugamat samprajñātah. Rupanugamat samprajñātah. We will do that entire sutra 3 times. And let's see, stumbling may or may not occur, but maybe by the last one, mastery is in the visible horizon. Om Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah. Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah. Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah. Tim, would you please chant it for us?
With as much Ananda as I can manage.
Absolutely.
Om Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah.
Everybody, what did you think? I'm gonna go to my reactions and give you a hand clapping.
Thank you, Leslie. There's nothing trivial about Sanskrit, but if there's a moment for Sanskrit trivia, Dr. Feuerstein says that rupa is sometimes omitted or is often omitted. And in Satchidananda's book, he omits rupa. And I thought, wow, that is so weird.
So vichara, do I have my,
I guess it's asmita nugamat samprajñātah. But rupa is kind of important. I was like, how can you just throw that on the ash heap?
Does anyone have anything to say about that in your studies? I would think that the commentators in those traditions that something would come out, some explanation of that.
What does rupa mean?
Rupa is a beautiful word. It means form. It means sight. It means beauty. So form, a visible form, but it also means beauty, rupa. So in the, what are they? The tanmatras, rupa is what is the form for, is what we see. You know, we have rasa is what we taste, and gandha, is that the word for smell? Gandha.
Isn't rupa also found at parties dating nama? So we see nama, rupa together, name and form.
Nama rupa, yes, name and form, name and form, nama rupa. And well, you're sending me, what you're doing is piquing my interest, and this will be study this week. I'll look at that. It's self-analysis, synthesis, bliss, and the experience of pure being.
I found the Light on Yoga Sutras commentary to be a little bit impenetrable, but Bowenshad talks about moving from analytical understanding of something to intuitive understanding.
Yeah.
And because, you know, I'm a very overthinking type person, I think the idea of lowering down from the head to the heart is really powerful.
Yeah, yeah. So that it's something, and I suppose, you know, this is about, the Yoga Sutras are all about the yoga, the practice of yoga. And of course, you know, everybody knows that in the Iyengar tradition, the asana is very important. And also in the Ashtanga tradition, asana is very important. But the same could be said for chanting. Just what you've been saying just reminds me that when we, and Elizabeth will, I'm sure, testify to this as well. You know, it's the same. When we first encounter asana and we go to our first class, it was a lot of work, wasn't it? I mean, it's still a lot of work, but we're learning new things and we're trying to command our bodies to get into these poses and these forms that our bodies may never have done before. And we have to think a lot. We have to be consciously telling our bodies what to do. So part of what gets us tired is the thinking and the chanting as well. When we're introduced to a new chant, or when I first started, I spent a great deal of effort just going over each syllable and making sure I understood each pronunciation. And then I had to put one syllable after another. And then, but then finally, after it's learned and after it's repeated many times over the months and over the years, it becomes blissful. It becomes joy because we don't have to work at it anymore. It comes out from the tongue memory. And the same, I think, is for asana. I think we would all agree. Do we
Leslie,
have permission? Yes,
sorry,
Lisa.
just on what you were saying about learning each, you know, individual vowel or sound, in that the one that we just did, in the when I look at the Rupa Nuga Mat, I have problems with the T. So like, to me that would be like mat. Yes, it would have a stronger ending sound, but you always I don't know, there's a different way that you do the T, and I just wonder if that's always done like that when it ends in T.
Usually only at the end. I should not have made any sound at the end of mat. It should have been Rupa Nugamat
So,
Sampragnataha. The
uh-huh.
goes right into the S. And I don't know if maybe I was just
No, so when
running
you
out
did
of
it,
breath.
when you did it by itself, you changed the T when that was like the end. So when you just did Rupa Nuga Mate, I thought you were going like mate. You were putting an extra sound, but then when you picked the next word, it just went straight into it. That's what was my question. Was if it's the end.
It was the end. It was because I was treating it as though it were the end. The T sound, the ta, which is at the teeth, whenever a verse or a line, whenever we come to the end of something and then you see the single danda or the double danda, when it's at the ending, it's at or eat at. There's a kind of an echo. There's just a little, it's not counted as a syllable, but it could seem like one. It's just, the intention is to make sure that the ta is chanted, because otherwise, using that as an example, if that were the ending, rupa nugamat, sometimes the listener wouldn't hear the T at all. So
No.
it has to be there. It has to
Understand.
be there.
Yeah, that makes heaps of sense. And so then when we added the next word,
You didn't need it.
okay, I understand. Thank you.
Leslie, I've always thought of it as closing the T, that if I don't say that, if I don't make that sound, it's left open. And in this one, it should be left open because we're moving on. But I just paged through the book and I didn't get to an ending T until 149. Visheshar tatvat.
Tattvat. Yeah. Tattvat. Tattvat.
But there's no need to close it if there's more to come. It's like slamming the door in somebody's face.
For yes. Are we allowed to go to 130 now? Which is on page 18 in your book. This is such fun, this one. And in all the sutras, whenever a sutra is discussing something unpleasant or bad or depressing, I find those the most fun to sound. Dukkha. I mean, I don't know why. It's moha, krodha. Moha means delusion. Krodha means anger. They're such fun words to pronounce, and they're all baddies. I mean, not really, but. So here we have a whole string or a necklace of obstacles. Let's do them one at a time. So I'll repeat each one. Vyadhi, vyadhi, styana, styana, sanshaya, sanshaya, pramada, pramada, alasya, alasya, avirati, avirati, Bhranti darshana, Bhranti darshana, alabdha, alabdha. Oh, actually, it's combined with bhumikatva. So, alabdha bhumikatva, alabdha bhumikatva, anavastist, anavastitatvani, anavastitatvani, chitta, chitta, vikshepaha. Now, vikshepaha, it's only vikshepas with an S at the end because of the te sound that follows, te. So originally that word is vikshepaha, which is the plural form of vikshepa. It's a masculine plural here. So, but however, it's followed by a dental ta in te, so it becomes vikshepaste. And then Apostrophe replaces the letter A, which represents a. Antarayaha. Antarayaha. Antaraya means obstacle. And if we break that word down further, antar, we encounter that in other places. Antar, it means in between, in the middle, anta, like antasthana, antaraya, that which stands between an individual and the goal of the individual, let's say, something like so, antarayaha. So vyadhi is defined here as disease, obvious disease, sickness. Sthana is like inertia. It's more of a mental dullness. Sanshaya, doubt. And we encounter in the Bhagavad Gita a lot of that word sanshaya or asanshaya, without doubt. That word comes in a lot. Pramada, heedlessness, recklessness, acting before thinking, if you will. Alasya, I love it. Actually, if you all say that and say it lingeringly, alasya, that is physical laziness. Alasya. And then avirati. It's translated here as indiscipline of the senses. So we're just drawn to things all the time, just indiscipline of the senses. We are a slave to our senses. We are the horses without a driver. Watch out. And then Bhranti darshana. Darshana, seeing, darshan, comes from the root verb drish, which means to see. And Bhranti means wandering or going off. So, and here erroneous seeing something. So that's similar. Here we are. I guess I've embarked on a study of the sutras today without meaning to, but anyway, let's go with it for a minute. If you go back to the page 12, Bhranti, the last sutra there, the fifth one, no, excuse me, the on the top of the page 13, there are the lists of the vrittis: pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smritaya. So illusory or erroneous knowledge. So viparyaya can be considered similar to, if we go back to page 18, Bhranti darshana. And often that example of walking on the road and seeing a rope and you think it's a snake, or vice versa. You're just seeing something incorrectly. Bhranti darshana. And then alabdha. Labdha means to gain, to acquire, to gain. Alabdha bhumi katva. Bhumi is a word for the earth, gaining ground. So alabdha bhumi katva, inability to gain ground. And he's calling it lack of perseverance. Okay. And then which is a negating, avasthitatvani. Unavasthitatvani. Backsliding, they call it. And if you look at that, unavasthitatvani, avasthitat, and go back to page 12 again, Sutra 1.3. tada drashtuhu svarupe. There's a little apostrophe there before the V. I didn't put enough space there, but it stands for the letter A, and that's avasthanam. Avasthanam can translate as situatedness or settled down, but there's sta in there, which means standing, standing. And so and then if you go back to page 18, unavastitatvani, stitatva, when we stand in the what is usually the first posture of our practice, with our legs together and our feet on the floor and we're standing upright, it's often called tadasana or samasthiti. Sthiti, that comes from sta, which means to stand or to remain. So all of that is related here. So unavastitatvani, failure to remain your ground, failure or you know, a slipping back, failure to hang on to what you've attained. Chitta vikshepastein tarate antarayaha. Those of the mind. Chitta vikshepa. Let's chant 130. I'll put 3 words together and let's see how it goes. Om Vyadhistyana Sanshaya. Let's repeat that twice. Vyadhistyana Sanshaya. Vyadhistyana Sanshaya. The next line, conveniently, 3 more. Pramada alasya avirati. Pramada alasya avirati. Pramada alasya avirati. Now, in that second line with pramada alasya avirati, we'd never get to the end if we did it that way. So the pramada followed by alasya, followed by changes to one long So we end up with pramadalasya, pramadalasya. And then the same thing again, alasya and avirati, ya of, yavirati. Alasya virati. So we end up with pramadalasya virati. Twice more. Pramadalasya virati. Pramadalasya virati. Now let's put those first 2 lines all together with the changes that we've discovered we need to make. Om Vyadhistyana Sanshaya Pramadalasya virati. Again. Om Vyadhistyana Sanshaya Pramadalasya virati. Moving on to the next line. Bhranti darshana labdha. So let's see if we can trick ourselves or be smart and outsmart what is written here. Darshana alabdha becomes darshana labdha. So we end up with, I'll do the whole line and I'll do it once and then we'll repeat it twice through. Bhranti darshana labdha. Bhranti darshana labdha. Bhranti darshana labdha. Now let's do those first three lines together. Om Vyadhistyana Sanshaya Pramadalasya Virati Bhranti Darshana Labdha. How did you do? Coming? Good. I see a thumbs up. Good. Let's continue. Actually, we'll start with alabdha and go into bhumikatva. And we'll just make it a short at the beginning because that's the only part that we're doing. Alabdha bhumikatva. Alabdha bhumikatva. Alabdha bhumikatva. And then the second to the last line, bhumikatva anavasthitattvani. Let's do it that way, just twice through. Bhumikatva anavasthitattvani. Bhumikatva anavasthitattvani. And don't you just want to join the and the between bhumikatva and anavast. So we end up with bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Twice more. Bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Doing all right? If we can chant this, then we can overcome everything we're chanting about. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. This is do the whole thing. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. One more time. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. Now let's do the last two lines twice through. Om bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. Bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. Let's take it twice through from alabdha all the way to the end, because that's the actual name of that obstacle, beginning with alabdha. Om alabdha bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. Alabdha bhumikatvanavasthitattvani. Chitta vikshepastentarayaha. So now we get to chant the whole thing. Here we go. Sip your water. Om Vyadhistyana Sanshaya Pramadalasya Virati Bhranti Darshana Labdha Bhumikatvanavastitatvani Chitta Vikshepastentarayaha. I'll take it higher. Om Vyadhistyana Sanshaya Pramadalasya Virati Bhranti Darshana Labdha Bhumikatvanavastitatvani Chitta Vikshepas Tentarayaha. How are you doing? All is coming. Practice and all is coming, said Patabi Joyce, right? Practice and all is coming.
When I was first learning these, Leslie, this was the first one where I said, I am really going to have to work on my lung capacity if I want to get all the way through this in one breath.
Yeah, the first trick to that is do it fast. Yeah, me too. Length of breath is problematic for me. More pranayama. Does everybody have the handout that I don't know where mine is, but anyway, what's on it? Here we go. Oh, there were a couple of them. Actually,
It came kind of late.
yeah, I apologize for that. All my fault.
No, well, you sent them before, but then I couldn't send them.
Yeah, the Ganapati Prarthana we might save for next week. It's a wonderful chant, but we've been, boy, this is those sutras are a workout, aren't they? They really are.
Are we going to do the Shree Gurustotram?
Yes, yeah, and so we should save time for that. But in order to honor Ganesha, and actually, you know what? If you have the handout, great. But also, we have a Vakra. Well, the thing is, there are 3 beautiful, brief mantras to Ganesha. I just don't see it right away. But do you all have something? If not, you can repeat after me because these are very short bija mantras to Ganapati or Ganesha. So it's wonderful to identify these obstacles through the Yoga Sutras, and it's also wonderful to oh, thank you, Patty. There it is. Yeah, that's exactly what I would like to work with. Ooh, let's keep it in there. How do I keep the chat there? Oh, there it is. Okay. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Let's do that 5 times. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. 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 Who would like to do the second one? My voice is, it's been such a dry day today and my voice is pretty much dried out. So it would be Om Ganganapataye Namaha, like that. Patty, if you want to do that, wonderful.
Sure. We should get Winnie in here to do it. It's hers. Okay. So how many times should I do it?
Your choice.
Okay. We'll do it 5 times. Okay. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha.
May I ask a question, Leslie?
We're muted, yeah, Leslie.
Sorry.
You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Kim.
I learned a slightly different melody. Can I sing it for you and you can tell me if you've heard it before?
Yeah, just teach it to us. You're up.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Yes, shall we all do that? Let's all do it that way and see how that feels.
5 times.
Okay.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Thank you.
It just seems more joyful. I don't know if that's relevant or not, but the flat one seems a little more restrained, as it were.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, terse. It's terse. What else do we have there? Oh, Shree Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Would someone else like to lead us in that one?
I'll do it, Leslie.
Yeah. And whatever whatever tune you like.
Okay, we'll do it 5 times. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to lead us in any of these or all of them? Let's move on to Guru. Akhanda Mandala. Where is that? It's on page 88. I think we got through the entire first page of this. I mean, we chanted it. Well, should we start at the beginning again, or would you prefer to start on page 89? How are you feeling about this? Would you like to just start at the beginning? It's a lovely one, very
I
beginning.
think start at
Give
the
us
beginning
more.
again
Yeah,
for me.
I think so too. Okay.
I'm grateful for the review.
Yeah, me too. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitan yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I'm going to raise the pitch slightly. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshvaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tat Padandarshitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapi Yat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadandarshitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvashruti Shiro Ratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantam Bujasuryo Yaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shall we repeat that one? That's a mouthful. Sarva Shruti Shiro. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna. So let's say it for a moment. Sarva, Sarva, all. Shruti, Shruti, heard. Shiro, Shira, Shiro, kind of the head. Ratna, Ratna. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna. Let's do that twice through. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna. One more time. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna. Virajita Padambujaha. Virajita Padambudaha. Virajita Padambujaha. One more time. Virajita Padambujaha. Now let's do that entire line. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna Virajita padambujaha. Moving on. Vedantam buja suryoyaha. Again, twice more. Vedantam buja suryoyaha. Vedantam buja. I'm sorry, I think I screwed up the melody. Vedantam buja suryoyaha. And then Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So now let's do that entire verse. Let's try it once through, see what happens. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantam Buja Suryoyaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, do we move on to the next one, or do we go back? Or maybe do all of them up to the one we just did? Let's do the next one. Let's see if that's any easier. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha. Let's just do that line twice. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha. Moving on. Binduna Dakalatitaha. Just that. Twice. Binduna Dakalatitaha. Binduna Dakalatitaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Twice through the whole thing. Chaitanya. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha. Binduna Dakalatitaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha. Binduna Dakalatitaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we're running out of time. Let's move on to Tvameva, the last verse. Sorry. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva bandhush chasakha tvameva. Tvameva vidya. Sorry. Dravinam tvameva. Tvameva sarvam. Mama deva deva.
You're muted.
Yeah, you got muted somehow, Leslie. I don't know what happened there.
I just muted too fast. Could someone please chant that? I'm so sorry. My voice ran away. It's done. So someone else take
I'll
over.
try.
Lead
I'll
us.
try to do it. I'll channel Rebecca. Should I start with Om? Yes. Okay. Om. Twameva mat. Wait, I like lost the. I'm sorry. I like lost the. I lost the melody.
Well, I used Shubraji's. You may prefer.
That's what I use.
Eva Mata.
Okay, okay, I got it now. Om Twameva Mata Chapita Twameva Bandhus Chasaka Twameva Vidya Dravinan Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Thank you for bearing with me on that. I am obviously not a singer, so thank you.
You are doing beautifully. Thank you, Patty. Would someone else like to chant this? That was lovely, Patty. That was just perfect. Anyone else, indeed. Give us your voice,
I can do it.
please. Yes.
Tvameva mata chapita tvameva bandhu chasakha tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Thank you, Caitlin. That was beautiful. It's all lovely. So we have our closing invocation. Elizabeth, would you like to lead us in the whole thing?
Yadaksharapadabrashtam matrahinantu yad bhavet tatsarvanksham yatan deva narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya Namo Namaha Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Butyatmanava Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yad Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. That last chant in particular, Kayena Ma Vacha, by the body, by the speech, Manasa, by the mind, and manasendriya, and by the indriyas, our organs of action and our organs of intelligence. By all of those means, kayena vacha manasendriyaiva, buddhyat, and our intelligence, our buddhi, and our self, atmanava, with all of that, prakriti, all that is prakritic, with all that I am, using all of my tools, I ask for your blessing and for your forgiveness for any mistakes, and bless me. And I offer everything unto you, is what we're doing. Buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhava. Karomi, I make. Yad yat, of that, all that I make. Yad yat, that which I make. Sakalam. Sakalam means to the entire whole. Sakala is a word for whole. WHOLE. Narayanayati. Narayanaya, to Narayana. Indeed, to Narayana. I am offering everything that I am and everything that I do. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leslie. Thanks,
Lovely voices. All of you chant so beautifully, really. And it's nice to do these ones that aren't Vedic because we can switch melodies to our heart's content. Good to see you.
Bye.
Have a nice afternoon and rest of your morning, Lisa. She's gone. Oh, wow. And then there were 4. Hi, guys.
That was really kind of cool, Leslie. I liked how you'd use the sutras, and then you got us into the obstacles, and then you gave us a way of getting out of them.
Oh, thank you. You mean, did I remove an obstacle? Paved a way.
Yeah, you paved the way.
Yeah.
That we don't have any excuses, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's just so nice to tie in honoring Ganesha with naming the obstacles, because he removes our obstacles, and then the sutras very conveniently name the obstacles so that we know what they are.
So, well, good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth.
I really appreciate your patience, Leslie and Patty. My connection to chanting has been reinvigorated by Bob and Leslie's Gita class. And so we don't do enough of it there. It's just like seasoning on top of 2 hours of intense concentration.
Yeah.
But this is really amazing. So thank you so much for including me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Tim, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your words. I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, be there, be square. Michigan is where it's at on Saturday mornings, as it turns out.
Right. Enjoy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. And then there was you and me. Okay.
We did it. High five, Leslie.
High five.
It was like 3:05. I was at my mom's house picking up Winnie, and I was like, oh my gosh, the email. And then it all worked out.
Yeah. This was for some reason it was tricky today, I guess. Well, I had to walk Henley in the middle of the day, and it was a windy day, and then I had to go to the post office, and these things happen.
Very windy. It was really so windy. Well, Winnie didn't have school today. Her teachers went to like a clinic for the vaccine, so they closed
all the
school.
teachers at once. Good, great.
So yeah, but it was like a last minute thing. We didn't even know until yesterday they weren't going to have school.
Huh? Wow.
So,
Day off.
Mom, can Winnie come play? So it was all good.
It would have been nice for Mom to know ahead of time.
Oh, she doesn't. She was happy. She's so wonderful. She didn't mind. She was happy that when he was coming over.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. But you didn't. I mean, it's
for you. This mom.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's just the way things are right now. That it's like things just are never foreseen, or
Yeah, right.
we made it work out. It's fine. It all works out.
That's so great, Patty. It's you've taken on the appropriate attitude, to be sure. How
I have to say
fun.
how strange it is that you did choose the obstacles and then you did like chants to Ganesh. Because this morning I was like all about Ganesh. I like put flowers at my Ganesh statue, and I was
Oh, cool.
chanting. I was doing that chant that I did. I was doing that one this morning for like some stuff. And then I was going to write you back in the email that, but I was like rushing to get home. So,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we kind of, yeah. Oh, good.
but,
Well,
the synchronicity was there. It was very cool.
yeah, it's wonderful when the synchronicity happens. And it's, when we have this regular meeting, I guess it happens more and more because we have one thing that we're all doing that we're all part of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Have a great evening.
You
Say
too.
hi to Winnie
I will.
and Ishbel. So Ishbel got on a bus to go somewhere?
She
Where
goes
was
to school on Monday and Tuesday. So sometimes she'll walk up. We live up on top of a big hill. So sometimes she'll walk up. It was so windy and cold. I didn't want her to have to walk. And they make them carry everything in their backpacks. They can't leave anything at school. It's so heavy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she was like, I could have walked up. I'm like, I can't have you walking up. It's too cold and windy with your big backpack.
Yeah, I think you did the right thing today. It was just too wicked, too cruel.
Yeah. After a long day of school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all worked out.
That's cool. Have a great evening, and let's let's get in touch over the week if we need to. Okay.
And say hi to Tony and Henley from us, and Lola's right here.
Oh,
She
hello.
loves
Oh,
chants in class. She's
What
always
the-
right next to me.
Yeah. Oh, she likes the chanting. Yeah.
She really does. Her full name is Lolasana. No, not really.
Oh.
I do call her that sometimes though.
Lola.
Lolasana.
I'm sure she loves it. Yeah, and she's doing the right thing right now, huddling down.
Mhm.
Yeah. When we went for our walk, there was just Henley and me. Usually we see other dogs, but nobody. We would
Forget it.
we'll sleep tonight. Okay, drink lots of water.
Yeah, true.
I'll do this.
Well, thank you for removing my obstacles.
Anytime. Thank you for removing mine.
Yeah. They're all obstacle free going forward in the rest of the week.
Thanks so much, Patty.
Leslie, namaste.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.